Hey, good morning, Nita. How you doing? Um, Making my schedule for the next couple weeks, and I missed today. I thought I set it up for today, but I think I missed it. Put it on Tuesday. Um, but today I'm going to be working on the Koitsugi game. Trying to finish up what I was working on Friday, and uh, I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to do some. You know what I forgot to do? Shoot. I'm going to go over a few different things to start off with. Um, Talking about my experience with, you know, starting to look for a new job. I might start actually like making videos about that stuff, about how I do it, how I've been taught to do it, how I've worked with like other consulting and employment companies. So, um, and I just talk about my experience. I think I'm just gonna start doing that stuff on um, making videos and then posting those videos on Instagram, all the social medias, Twitter, Threads, wherever. TikTok. I might even start posting on TikTok too. Um, you know, really like turn this into like a business venture. But hope you're doing good. I hope you had a good weekend. So just working on my schedule real quick. Um, so I'm not gonna stream tomorrow. I'm gonna be back Wednesday. Working on that drawing game template, doing the asset flips. So I'm going to do that Wednesday and Thursday and then come back on Friday. So thinking Monday, Fridays will be my Koitsugi days. That might bleed into um, the other asset flipping stuff, but hoping I can just, um, the asset flip's going to be quick. I want to do some ads and in-app purchases, things like that. And start reaching out to the communities about getting some art assets. I need to build some documentation, work for that. So, um, and then yeah, got a few things to work on for the state machines, like the priority for Koitsugi right now, and then I'm gonna come back to tackle this stuff here. Um, but let's go ahead and like actually get some links working. Um, I should have done this a couple weeks ago, but I need to work on some video stuff. You're shifting gears back to RPG Maker game DLC. Nice. Let me know how that goes. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully, you know what I'm gonna tell like everyone too, and I've told other people who work on like sequels and stuff like that. Uh, you know, do it if you want to, and hopefully it brings more people in. They'll see DLC. You're still working on the game, and uh, get more revenue that way, right? Because at the end of the day, we all want to be indie game developers and try to like support our hobby and either turn that hobby into a career, right? Into a business. So Koisugi, make it. I need to get like a video of this too, and then put it my on my Twitch. Um, oh, I've got my new logo, so I'm gonna be working on that stuff. this one. No more Discord. Or maybe I should promote the Blind Cat Studios Discord. Let's see. Like, we never post there, so we barely post in our social media. But I will. Where's Discord? And I start posting stories and stuff like that. Just tell everyone, like, hey, I'm streaming, all my social media. Paste. That's weird. It's not generating a link for me. Well, alright. That's weird. Well, I guess, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. I'll just save it like that, I guess. I got Nita on here, Maui, eBay. I need to get the, go with the Steam. I'll just put Steam on there. Steam. And oops, that's not what I wanted. Got the links. YouTube, Twitter. That's fine. Alright. Other stuff. I was working on updating my experience on LinkedIn. I still need to work on that. I don't think I'm gonna work on that now. But there's this right management company, and I think it's gonna show up on stream. I don't know if I can share this, but whatever. I think it's okay. I'm not famous, so there's different like events that they do, trying to like help you transition, find a new job. Because I got laid off, right? Um, this is one of the tools that I've been offered. So, um, so yeah, I'm gonna see like all the events and then sign up for events to start checking things out. Um, they did have one, so yeah, I'm just gonna do all these. I'm gonna sign up for all these right now, uh, and then I'm gonna like I'm gonna I think it'd be a good idea for me to like build tutorials on this stuff. Um, so the next one is the 5th, so Wednesday. And I need to add these into my own calendar. So personal branding, talking about branding. How do you market yourself as a developer? How do you market yourself? So you can actually start making, like, look good, make your resume look good, make yourself look good, talk about yourself in like a good light. Um, Resume development. Do the 7th. And yeah, introduction to like LinkedIn, making your profile. Like, I think it is good to have a LinkedIn profile, and you start marketing yourself there. Like, you can always like direct people like, hey, this is how I market myself in a business aspect. I think that's like what a good reason to use LinkedIn for. Um, even if you never really use it to like submit resumes, like there's your business profile. If you are doing like, especially if you're doing consulting or contracting, um, and I'm gonna just try to schedule these out throughout all of February. Probably should schedule some multiple days. Interview strategies. I think this is also a really good one, and I'm gonna make videos about how I prep for for interviews at like a senior level, with a main focus on Swift. But of course, like those carry over like all over like different languages and such. So do the 13th. What day is that? Thursday, next Thursday, Friday. Okay. Negotiating strategies, research tools, networking. So these are all the recommended ones. So I'm gonna just sign up for all these. Um, Negotiating strategies. I think this is also like really good. Um, and I think I just need to make content, right? So I think these are all going to be good topics for me to talk about. Um, like researching companies, I think is also like valid. Do the 11th, maybe. Is it? When's the 5th? That's Wednesday, right? Try not to overlap some of these. Now I gotta go check. I signed up for a bunch of events. Cool. It doesn't show the dates. Perfect. On demand events. Why wouldn't you show? Oh, let me see. I think they shows it up here. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so this one. So this is pretty cool. Like it's got like a calendar of like all my events I've signed up for. Obviously, like you can see there's an overlap here. Negotiating strategy. So I need to sign up for a different one. Um, it looks like next week's gonna be pretty busy. I just had the getting started one today. So let me go back. Negotiating strategies. Hopefully these aren't too early. Let's see, unenroll that one. The third. Well, that's today. It's already too late. And the 18th. So like that's really far out, but I guess that's okay. You know, rolling that one. Search strategy and networking. Let's see if I can get this one this week. 6 9 a.m. Does that overlap anything? Do not enroll. Perfect. So that's like all of them. Let's double check the calendar. Cool. So yeah, like February is just gonna be like focus on like doing these um, webinars or events, whatever. And then there were a couple other events that I'm gonna look for before I jump over to the game dev stuff. Let me open up the project. I gotta fix the project so I can stay on main. Let's see. There's a virtual job fair, and then like I don't want to jump into like job searching just yet. Give it a little bit more time. Mm, I forget. There was one about consulting, so I'm gonna look for that one and then I'll jump onto the game dev stuff. Like I think preparing for interviews are always like popular videos, negotiating, like always negotiating pay. And you shouldn't be afraid to like negotiate pay, such like that. I think it was like consulting. I posted it. I think these are assessments. Where the heck is it? I don't know if it was an event or like a class. Using artificial intelligence. Let's see. Can I search? Let's see. Consulting. Here. Starting a consulting business. This is one. Marketing your business. This is, oh, man, maybe the 20. When's the 6th? Is that Thursday? This Thursday. 11. Yeah, I think I already have something going on at 11. I'll enroll in both. Oh, that's me enrolling one. Okay. Pretty sure I have something at that time. 6 at 9. I don't know what time these are at. Just enroll, see if it overlaps. Because it's based on like the instructor's like time zone. Let's see. And then marketing your business. The third. This no, so I'm gonna do this one. All right. Yeah, I think that's good. I think I'll check some more stuff out later, and just gotta get in here. So the next one is, oh yeah, okay. They are done at different times. That was an hour and a half. But gotta update like my resume and stuff like that. But where's I I got I got stuck in kids pulled me away from development on Friday, so I didn't get to finish. So I left the game broken. So let's get back to that. And get some music. All right, and then an ad's coming up, and I've actually increased ads. Sorry, guys. So I've increased ads, so there's gonna be like ads every like 30 minutes or something. And I think there's like it's 2-minute ads. All right. So if I remember right, I was starting to work on the new states and was trying to get rid of the speed and working on the fish navigation. So I still want the fish navigation to use weights to like move the character around, all the NPCs around. So you kind of like have some, what's it called? Like some like variations and like enemies aren't like moving all the same. There's like not an obvious pattern, right, to how they move. And then uh, trying to bring in like that erratic behavior because everything was time based, so it was a little bit easier to determine that behavior just by time. And so might bring that time element back in because right now the enemies moved away from a time element to a like actually I think the enemies the fish still use a time but the boss uses a waypoint. Let me see. So I'm just gonna delete that. Is this still used? Set new position. So I'm just gonna do some code cleanup and see what's actually used. Because I don't think we use set position anymore. Yeah. Okay. And then migrating away from like this state machine, right? Like this state switcher into an actual like state machine. So we don't use the default offset anymore. Just delete that. And I think that's it. I think the speed. Oh, it's my facing direction. so this is so I'm gonna get rid of the enemy 2D. Let me get rid of that first too. Do some cleanup there. Move this over a little bit. Camera's like blocking some of my screen. So let me get rid of that. That will just be good cleanup too. Let's see, where's that? I think that's in plugins. Oh no, it's right here. Delete. Just getting rid of that entirely. We don't use it at all anymore. We're using the new Ray Vision. Okay, so we don't use that. So we use this facing direction. I don't think any of the enemies use. Can moves backwards. I think I'm just gonna get rid of that. Well, I think an ad's running. No, okay. So let's see. So I know I do use, I think this is probably the most important thing, is I don't really care about this move backwards feature anymore, but the facing direction does matter because that's how I determine how the fish move. Actually, I don't think... I don't think I use this anymore. Yeah, because we don't use the ground detection or water detection anymore. So we have the new raycast systems in. So let's clean that up. A lot of cleanup, guys, a lot of cleanup. As like we migrate like the legacy code, there's just more and more cleanup to do. So we don't need to do that anymore. I don't think. I think I deleted that code already. Okay, so I think I'm good to delete this. So the new when we detect a direction, or like the new raycast system, right? There's an event called, it calls this function here like new too close, and it passes in like what's supposed to be the wall hits. So I think I need to think about this a little bit more, but I'll come back to it in a bit. Because those are like external calls that need to be telling the object how it should move and how it should update. And that should just communicate to the movement for whatever. Like for this instance, it'll be like the fish navigation. Let's see. Yeah, the near surface, I don't think I use anymore. I shouldn't. Doesn't look like there's any references. So that's gotta go. Because there's a new near water surface. And some temp work that was put in for hey, what to do, and like this has to do with like all how I've updated, like there's an in between the legacy and the new code, because I've been waiting on to create the state machine. So let's see what else I can clean up. Reset, no one uses this. The new back in water. It says 0 references, but I think I do use this with the Unity events. So here, like you can see, so in the wandering movement, this is what we don't use but want to use, right? So let's see. So I want this to be like the new fish navigation behavior. You guys to think about how to move that in, and then creating like a new cannot attack state, or a new behavior that is like they can't attack. The stun state. So getting all these states in there. But let's focus on the movement first. Well, we don't use this, so we're currently using, so all the enemies use the waypoint movement. Wait, do they? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, this one does not. All the fish use the wandering, because it gets the weights, and then it's still timed based, like I was saying. And we start that timer, so. Is it just these? These the last ones? Looks like it. Oops. They're all just in the fish movement behavior. What is this? More mountains. What the heck is this? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's from. It's weird. More mountains tools. Maybe that's part of the feel plugin. I think we're gonna get rid of that too. I think all this stuff's gonna get updated. I need to check to see if the Sin machine's been updated. It's the water 2D kit. Parallax background. We don't use this anymore. But I'll update it. Oh, it's just saying add to obsolete. Okay, I'll have to look up to see. What's it say? Okay. Alright, let's work on this. Where's my fish navigation there? So what we want in the fish navigation is our weighted system. So I'm gonna pull this out. Then so all these are like events that we were hooking in, and let me see. Sign state system, state machine. What's state system? Oh, let's see. I think the other one. Gave me a minute to think about this. Like I said, like everything's time based right now, and I think for the fish navigation, I'd still like to stay time based. And say, hey, you know what, you're just gonna be, you move randomly, right? And just pick your direction based on, you know, the weights that were provided. And let's see. But the fish behavior is what provides this time elapse, which I'll pull out and that's just going to be directly in the fish navigation, right? And I haven't been sure about what I'm going to do about this time elapsed. I did like it, because it just like makes a broadcast, but I think I'm moving away from this. So the fish navigation will just have its own timer. Don't need to have like a timer object anymore. So timer. I'm trying to think, like, is there like a completion state, right? When we're talking about these behaviors, is there something like that calls tells it like, okay, this behavior's done, it's complete? I don't think so. I don't think we really, for this type of behavior or this movement, don't really want anything like that. Again, we don't have to use. Let's see. So again, just gonna rip this one out. This is what we want to copy. And again, this goes into like having options for like fish navigation. Say, okay, I want. Well, actually, with the weights, and I think, yeah, maybe we will have like different options for fish navigation you can set, because there used to be like an erratic movement that I had deleted a while ago. So the wanderer will just like go move in random directions based off the weights, but then the erratic one will have like time based. So it may move faster, slower based on like different variables. So and so like other things that we have to start taking into account is um, these external things that we were keeping track of all together in like the movement or on this fish object, to determine like, okay, well, you're going to remove those vectors, those directions from where you're going to go because there's something there, right? So I think what do you want? Timer, and then oh, I think it's a float range that I created. And so this is going to provide like that variety. So Actually, this can be private. No, we don't need this exposed. That's just our timer. So we'll randomly select something. So we need to get, we can get a, this one could be serialized. So it's going to be a float. So we'll get the range and then apply it to here. Well, next change will be, we'll say movement. Random. So if you guys haven't seen this before, I just created this float range that will take in a float and a length. So it's a start and end time, and it just randomizes. It just sends back a random value. And so as long as that's like less than, then we need to go change directions, and what we'll do is just and then we'll say oh, there's an ad. Oh, I'll be right back. What? All right. Alright, I'm gonna be using so we update our movement, and we don't do this anymore. We don't set new movement direction on our fish, and it's okay to have our facing direction here now. We don't even need this anymore. We're just gonna provide a new direction, right? We don't need to actually assign it to any property. So we'll I think this is just providing a vector 2, so and uh, so we just want to communicate directly to our movement system now, and the behavior should do this. So we want to have our I think it's movement. Let me see. What do I use here? My fish set movement. Set movement. I'm hoping to finish all this today. I've got a good few hours to do it. So can't get distracted. Fish set new movement direction. Okay. So this uses the movement rep, and let's see, take a look at that, and it's movement, and this will what do. Yeah, movement. And so I need to get this. Let's include that namespace. Movement is a namespace. to... Oh, but I think because this is all in the state machine. I want to only use the type. Where does it live? It's in... Blanket! What's it? Oh yeah, I'm always slouching. Guys, if you guys haven't heard of Blind Cat Studios, let me tell you. Give you a shout out. They're making this game. I need to add the video here to you. Maybe I'll do that. I'm not gonna stream tomorrow, but I'll do that Wednesday. Go and follow these guys. They are so cool. I gotta go look this up. Okay, I see your message. Yeah, I think we can just replace the screen shake. I'm gonna get rid of all this stuff today, or get rid of all these errors, and hoping to, you know, just hand you a clean slate. So, you know, whenever you're ready to work on the game, just let me know. And I've got fish navigation, but might have to look this up. I thought I did that, but here's that movement. Oh, now you want to show up? That's maybe I didn't do that. Maybe I just typed movement. It was movement.movement. But I thought I could just say using the namespace, but maybe not. No, it's only been Nita in chat. Nita's been hanging out with me. Unless something's wrong with my chat. That's what happened on Friday. Like, you missed Friday's stream. Like, Friday was just, like, messing up. It was good for, like, 2 hours, and then the third hour, I was having internet issues. I lost chat in OBS, and I lost chat. I lost the whole stream on Twitch and YouTube. It looked like I was live still, and I think I was, but I couldn't see any of the chat. So I restarted. I had to restart the internet. Or actually, I just reconnected my network or the Wi-Fi adapter, and then And then like 15 minutes later, it all went out, and so I had to restart. And I tried getting back to streaming. I like started it, but then the kids pulled me away, so I only got to stream like 2 hours, 2.5 hours on Friday. So yeah, it is what it is, man. If something's going on, I don't know. Ads coming through. I am playing more ads now just to see if I can generate a little bit more money, but we'll see. So I need the movement, and then because again, trying to remove these dependencies on other things, right? Because we shouldn't be dependent um, on other objects, right? Trying to remove those dependencies. So here we're gonna go through. Now we have this movement object, which we'll set, but I'm gonna create a new method called set new, and I'm not gonna call it new. I'm gonna set movement direction, and it's gonna take that vector 2. And okay, yeah, if you're gonna start streaming at night, let me know. It's tough for me to watch at night, but I mean, I can't even watch during the day either, so because I'm gonna be streaming. But let me know. I'm gonna try to wrap things up today, and just so everyone's aware, just chatting with Blind Cat on the side outside of stream. So I'm not. So I'm not talking to like some invisible person. Let's go back to the fish behavior. So I'm gonna rip this out. Where'd this go? So set new. There's 11 references. And get rid of the attack. So there's like major changes. This is a major migration, so so getting the directions in, gotta figure out this frozen property. Again, this is in the movement, so this is supposed to be the new navigation for fish. Movement behavior. So like if the fish is frozen, it shouldn't, the speed multiplier should be 0. Again, some of this, I'm just like migrating some stuff, so this might change again in the future. Not like a lot, it's just, gotta get things, gotta get the game with, no errors, get it building again, so that other people can work on it, and then I can migrate some more code, clean up some more code. A lot of cleanup code today. So again, don't want to say it should just be is frozen. Right. Oh. Cool. Same thing, like at water surface. Is that something that I want to be? Is that something I want to be in this behavior, or where do I want that to sit? Right now, again, just let's focus on like migrating code over so that we're getting some cleanup. That's why it makes sometimes it is best to start from scratch, but you know most of the time when you get like big projects, you always have to migrate slowly because otherwise, especially like if the game's already out there or like been in software development for a long time, um, it's very rare, right, that anyone would start a brand new project from scratch. It's always like you have to be able to migrate over because you've got existing customers using an app, and you can't just say, "Hey, we're gonna turn off the lights on you," and because we're gonna spend the next 6 months rebuilding the app. You know. Okay. Yeah. No worries, Dennis. Um, Whenever you're ready, like I'm still working on the game. Um, just let me know if there's like something you want me to work on, that you really want to get done for the demo that I can pick up, and we'll figure that out. No worries. Like I have no problem like jumping to like 3 days. Oh, man, I'm into that. My bad. All right. The heck. Sorry, I didn't realize we were in an ad. Um, but yeah, what I was saying was, yeah, Dennis, if you know, take your time. Just let me know if there is something you want me to work on, that you want done for the demo, because I want to, um, once I get the state machine done and that kind of migrated, I'm gonna wrap up a few of the other things on the pond level and the levee level. So, and then I'm gonna, plan after that is just to move on to like the other levels, start like resizing all the levels. So we can start tackling that together. You take one level, I take another, and we just resize them. And this is where like other hooks come in. Um, I'm thinking that uh, you've got to tie these things in where, hey, you've hit the surface, and that's currently, I think, how the behavior works. Um, that when the one of the senses hits, it will say, "Hey, you've um, where is it? These events here. Oh no, it's not these events. Maybe I just called this function directly. I'll slowly go over it. We'll get there. Yeah, yeah. There's a few things. Again, whenever you have time, again, just get the. You can always get the Jira app and start writing things out when you have spare time in like a minute or two. And I always use um, apps on my phone because I'm never at my computer anymore. So, but we got 7 viewers. Welcome everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I'm streaming a lot more. Trying to get stuff monetized. So check out my links. If you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and subscribe my videos. I'll be posting more videos soon. And I'm almost at 500 subscribers on YouTube, so I'll be able to monetize that soon. I'm gonna get some more videos out. I'm trying to think of content to come out with. So I have a lot of things on my mind for what to do. Just gotta schedule it all in. Along with like doing game development for this game, Koitsugi, and if you haven't already wishlisted the game, there's the link. Go wishlist the game today, and we'll let you know when I'm working with Blind Cat Studios on this game. We'll let you know when an early demo will be out, but feel free to check out the demo, or not check out, wishlist the game. Okay, for that, some cleanup. All right, so let's see. Oh, maybe that goes into like the number of loops for the state. Instead of having this change every time, it just restarts it and says, okay, hey, you completed. And maybe that goes into a better mentality of what I should be doing. It starts a new timer. And that is the completed state. That makes sense. I don't know why. To me, guys, it's so early. Okay. Wall hits. Is that not wall hits? Wall hits. At water surface. At water surface. Weights. This is the. Let me go pull this from over here. Thought I did already. Pull that out. So the weighted list is private, and then we just have a vector directions of all the weights. And let's see. Get the movement type in there too. Alright, no worries, Dennis. I'll catch you later. Let's see, mini boss. Weights. Sorry, I know this is gonna be a boring stream, guys. There's a lot of cleanup I gotta do as I migrate to newer systems. Set up weights. Set facing direction. We don't care about that anymore. So on start, exchange. We just do here. Set up the weights, we get the random, and now we gotta pick a direction. So we say set movement direction, and let's go ahead and get that new one, that new direction here. Okay. Cool. So starting that off, wall hits. I don't know why it's giving me issues with that. Oh, I see. Wall hits. There we go. So I still got to do these, the near wall. So I'm not gonna put a tooltip here. Let me put a I'll say external event should trigger a movement change and block works movement here instead of okay. Same thing here for external event should trigger movement change and block directions walls are located. So those are some items I still gotta do, like, figure out, because those events should set that. I don't know if we want that, if I really want them local. And is that gonna work with like other properties, you know? Are we almost there with errors? Let's see. Wanderer movement. Alright. I think we're just about there. Really close. Dead Flame. Hey, welcome back. Sorry I got cut off on Friday's stream. Internet issues and the kids pulled me away, so but I wasn't sure like who you were uh based off your name, so or if I like knew you in real life. What's up, Rag? What's going on, man? Oh, Nick, what's up? Welcome. How you been? It's been a long time. Yeah, Rag. I don't know if you heard. I did post it in a few discords, but I got laid off a few weeks ago. It was like a surprise to like everybody, but the company just like laid off a bunch of people. Yeah, budget cuts. I don't know. Typical stuff for like tech industry now. It's gonna happen more to other businesses, but um, so I'm trying to stream more, work on this game, try to make some. Um, I'm gonna try to do some asset flips. So I'll be back Wednesday to do some of that, and then make some more tutorials. I know. Thanks for hanging out, Nick. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. Yeah, I'm getting a severance package. Um, and technically I'm employed until March, and then I'm gonna get this severance package. So I'll be okay, like for a while. I'm not too worried, but eventually I'm gonna have to crank gears and switch gears to like actually like start applying, looking for a job. But they've done a good job with like helping out. Like they set us up, all the people that got laid off, they set us up with like a management group or employment management group, and I'll have them for 6 months to help me get a job, transition to a job. So, but I gotta look for something that's remote. Awesome, thanks, I appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. Yeah, I just hit 2,000 watch hours uh, over the lifetime, but I'm hoping I gotta hit like 3,000 watch hours in 1 year to get monetized. So I think once I start posting more videos, um, I'll get there. Yeah, yeah, Reg. I think it sucks, but they're definitely giving a bunch of leeway time, and but it was just a surprise uh, because to, I think it was like partly because I was remote and I'm working from home, and they want to bring more people in. I think they're gonna cut, because they have remote hybrid workers, and I think they're gonna cut off the hybrid, bring everyone in office. And if you guys haven't already, do wishlist the game and check out my links. Oh, awesome! Appreciate it. Oh, shoot. That's awesome, Nick. Oh dang, what's up? The regular human, what's up? Thanks for the raid. How's it going? I don't think I've seen your stream before. Give you a shout out. What were you working on? Hey, humans, welcome, welcome, humans. Um, yeah, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. I'm working on Koitsugi, which it is a 2D adventure game. We've been working on it for a couple years. I'm working with Blind Cat Studios, so feel free to check them out as well. I just started streaming some more, and um, Blind Cat's been streaming a lot. And I just recently got laid off, so please go and wishlist the game. Check out my YouTube channel. Um, Check out my YouTube channel, like and subscribe there. I do tutorials on RPG Maker. I'll be posting more tutorials on Unity and some other like tech interviews. I've been a professional software engineer for about 12 years now, and I took a hiatus for game development for a long time, and so Blind Cat, he brought me back into this game. Um, I'll show you the demo in just a minute, uh, but you know, I've been a software engineer for 12 years, and so kind of like debating on what to do next since I got laid off was kind of a surprise to me. But thank you so much for the raid, appreciate it. And let me pause my music and I'll show off the um, our little trailer here on Steam. It's a little outdated, but we'll get a new one soon. Oh, is it really low? My bad. There you go. Yeah, hopefully, sorry. Um, Hopefully there's a lot of you could hear the sound at the end of that. Um, but it's just like trailer music. Yeah, we've been working about 2 3 years on this game. Our artist is working really hard, but kind of she's been working on other stuff, work stuff, contract stuff. So um, we only really have this one level, this one scene right now. Um, but working on trying to get more art done. It's a very art heavy game for sure. Like we all, uh, that's what we wanted. And so I just fixed a bunch of bugs. So it's not ready to demo yet. I'm in the middle of transitioning between some legacy code to a state machine. So it's kind of in between right now. So I can't really show gameplay, but you kind of saw it in the trailer. So I appreciate the raid. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, checking out the game, and bringing all your raiders with you. Um, I'll catch you next time. I'll definitely look at your stream when I get the chance. Um, so appreciate the raid. The gameplay looks like remind me of a little of the underwater levels in Donkey Kong. Yeah, we're trying to you know, have a lot of inspirations from uh, I'm drawing a blank. Off Ori in the Blind Forest, and inspiration from Echo the Dolphin. So the game's looking really good. Art's great. It's just yeah, it's very art heavy, and we only have one artist, and so there's not much animations either. Um, it's all hand drawn animations. So, but yeah, and this is like the first game we're developing, and so myself, I have like my own little studio, which is Heroes Legends Studios, which is what the YouTube channel is. But you know, Blind Cat reached out to me. He's got his YouTube channel, and the game's on his profile here, Blind Cat Studios. So definitely check his stream out. He'll start streaming again soon. He was streaming, but you know things are going on right now, so he can't stream. But hopefully next week he'll come back and start working, ramping up again. You know, we get hit with holidays, and I got hit with this layoff, so gotta figure some life stuff out. So, but thanks everyone so much for hanging out. Appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions about Unity or RPG Maker, RPG Maker is what I got into streaming with because I didn't want to really code too much, and I love coding, so ended up coming back doing coding tutorials for RPG Maker. So if you guys are big fans of RPG Maker or Unity, I'm not sure what regular humans working in, but if you guys have any questions, let me know. Um, I just, I literally just finished up getting all the bugs uh, out, and but it's still transitioning. I still got to transition some of this legacy code as I learn some of these Unity events. Humans using Unity, awesome, awesome. Yeah, Unity's great. But nothing against Unreal or Godot. Those are all great too. Oh yeah, you used RPG Maker XP. Nice. I know. There are a few devs in here that use RPG Maker still, and I love it. I love the community. It's a great community. Like that's what I started with, and I built my Twitch community in the RPG Maker space. So a lot of great people, a lot of great devs. Um, but I'm currently working on migrating these scripts to a state machine, and it's going to take some time. So I don't think it's working right now. I doubt if I hit play it's gonna work. I don't. Basically, I'm moving all the movement functionality out and trying to migrate it over to a movement space or into a movement state. Dead Wolf, what's up? Let's see. So the player should still work, but I think all the enemies are probably like, yeah, you can see like they're not moving. The boss probably isn't moving either, so I don't know why the music's not playing. Oh, look, the boss is moving. And so you can kind of see like this little meant to be a little cinematic demo. There's a screen shake there, and try to get more feedback about the. So you can like he'll try to attack you if you like sit here. You can hit these debris. Oh, yeah, he'll just like smack you right into these like spikes down here. So you want to try to get him to like attack you here once you sit in these like little lighted areas. But I'm trying to wrap these movements so Dennis can, Blind Cat can have come back and check things out. And actually start working on the game again because I broke it over the weekend and no one was able to work on it. Yeah, I think Ori and the Blind Forest, it's gonna be all underwater, because of course you play as our koi fish here. And sorry, I played the trailer, but I'll give a little bit of a description of it. The so you play as a koi fish, and there's basically a toxin that has invaded your whole ecosystem, and it's coming into your pond, and it's infected the wildlife all around you, and it's causing these animals to become like enraged and start rampaging, destroying like your home. So you have to go venture out, try to find where this source of pollution is coming from, and you'll travel upstream through the river and different environments and battle different uh, bosses as travel towards the source of like the pollution. So this is the first boss you face. Um, this kind of beat up uh, other koi fish, and you'll battle all kinds of different animals, enemies. We have, and they're all going to be stylized. So, and this is based in like Japan. Like I think the Edo period is what we're going for. So I might be wrong. I'm not the artist and I'm not the story guy. I just programming the game functionality. But we gotta get. I just started streaming again, so I don't have any clips myself. Um, and I haven't streamed in like a year or two, so I don't have any clips. I need to get that stuff. And oh yeah, Ori's a great game. So but yeah, you'll battle like samurai crabs, shinobi frogs. We um, have cranes, animals. We have trying to remember all of them. Like one of my favorite bosses is the octopus, um, and that one's gonna be cool. There's gonna be an ad coming up in like 30 seconds, so just so you guys are aware. And, but if you guys have any questions, yeah, feel free to ask. Um, Let me get back to yes migration. Uh, Start waypoints, patrol stuff. Oh, you do use the Wanderer. Oops, my bad. Oh no, I knew that. I knew that. That's why I was copying it over here. My bad. That's why the boss works. And the other guy works. Okay. We also use Unity DevOps. So the Unity version control is something we use. Um, we really like it. I like it in collaborating. So we want the enemies to have the new state machine. That's not what I want to do. Controller. Me. Back from ads. Yep. Yeah, me trying to get more revenue coming in, so I increased the ads. Usually I just have like 30-second ads, but I'm gonna try to focus on building like maybe I'll become a full-time game dev. So let me see. I'm not sure. I'm no expert in C sharp either. Spent most of my time in Swift. I'm an iOS developer and done a little bit of web, but no expert in C sharp. So, and then some of this Unity stuff is all new. I used to develop in Unity back in 2008, 2009 when I was in school. Then after school, I worked on a project for like a year and then just stopped, took a break, and so a lot of things have changed because that was back then like it was like Unity 2, Unity 3. Um, so a lot of things have changed since then. Uh, so I'm trying to see if I'm not sure how to show some of this stuff in the inspector window. Because what I want to do is here's my state controller, and it's going to have an array of states that it can navigate to. And of course, I just want to be able to drop my states in. So I have a fish navigation behavior and then a patrol state. Um, but yeah, I'm still learning some of this stuff. So private I states. So I don't know if I have to make the. Let me know if the music's too loud. Hey, welcome back. It's good. It's good. I'm still learning Unity. So there's some stuff that um, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to expose like this interface to the what's it called? Yeah, that's not all of them too. I kind of stopped putting them up. I think I gotta have like about 50 at least. Any rare ones? I don't know. I don't really keep track of it. I know uh, I probably do have some rare ones, but I don't really know which ones are rare. I just like pick up the ones I like. Um, I've got like Dragon Ball and a bunch of different animes. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know which ones are rare. I mean, I have the Naruto Sixth Path. That might be rare. Um, I got the Chrome All Might. I don't know. It's a lot of anime stuff. Hey, thanks for the follow. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to expose this interface. And I know I can expose classes by doing this, but I don't think that's it. And or maybe it is. Maybe I can try to expose it here. Serialized field and serialized reference. Swing value on fields. Okay. A Scott Pilgrim Funko. That'd be cool. Oh, it's 300. I hate that it happens, but I get it. You know, all these things are like collectibles. I've seen some, like, there's some Godzilla ones that I've wanted and just haven't been able to get them. And yeah, they're like hundreds of dollars. I used to have this Sailor Moon one and I sold it. And I think that was like 80 bucks. It was like Sailor Moon Black or something like that. Where did I go? Push navigation. Nope, that's not it. Oh, the state controller. Reference. Maybe. Yeah, like I have the Dragon Prince, I have Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, Sword Art Online. A lot of I got My Little Ponies, Pokemon, Naruto. You know, I got a good amount. I've got like 50 or something. Oh, here we go. Okay, cool. So here are my states, and just shows up as elements. Mm, don't know if that's really what I want. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of Inuyasha ones. Yeah. Um, they're like out of reach. I have them way up there. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I got like Sashomaru, Inuyasha. Uh, I even like the evil one. I might be able to see it. It's like right there. It's like the second one from Stanley. Um, that one is the evil Inuyasha, and I think that one is like maybe like 30 bucks or something, 40 bucks. Yeah, too small. I would, but it's like way up there. I'd have to like get a ladder to get it. I'm short. I'm not that tall. Where did my patrol state go? Yeah, yeah. Oh, good. So I'm still learning this stuff. Don't don't hate me. Um, some of this stuff may change. So I just want to be able to drag and drop states in here. I think this is how it should be done. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think I have to make this object somehow. Maybe this has to be like a scriptable object. Layered with Funko Pops, yeah. Yeah, some people collect a lot. Have like hundreds. I mean, there's so many. There is so many that I always see them at the stores, or I see them like there's some game shops I go to, and there's just like a bunch, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool one, that's a cool one, and then all of a sudden like they're spending hundreds of dollars. So I don't, you know, Pokemon's my thing, so I spend too much on my Pokemon cards to collect them, and yeah, I can't be splitting that hobby. I need to cut down on that spending. What am I trying to do here? All I want to do is have the states, but that state would need a behavior too. Maybe I gotta make the behavior exposable. Is that my state? Maybe put that here. I think I have to convert like this interface to some kind of like viewable object in the inspector. I'm not really sure how to do it though. He's in the thousands of Funko Pops? That's crazy. I mean, I have thousands of Pokemon cards, but that takes up less space. Takes up less space. I think that's the other issue too, right? Thank you for the follow. Is it Dr. Use Path? Let me know if I said that wrong. Yusuf? Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Let's see. I have to Google this stuff, guys. That is wild. See, this post here is saying like you gotta make a serializable container object that wraps a component. Maybe I gotta rethink this through a generic property. Oh, like components. Serializable. Let's see. Can be null. Serializable. Serialized field. Validate. Typed container. Intrusive. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you never know. It's like I get people, I get like Minky King all the time. I'm like, it's Monkey King, but it's all good. But Trusif, now I know. Now I know. Okay, so now I gotta think if this is the best way. So kind of draw a diagram. I think, do I have it still open? I have like this whiteboard that I made. TG, what's up? So trying to get this state controller, you have these states and everything, and then those states will have behaviors. Um, but most snooze ads. But I think what is it? The idea would be you have the state controller script, and then you have like an array of states, and those states have behaviors attached to them that you can just drag and drop in. And so, yeah, I've got to create some kind of way to show this in the expector. And that's like all new stuff to me. I'm not sure how to expose some of this stuff in the inspector. Because if we look at the interface, or the state controller, we just have like this list of states, and all it's going to do is it's going to, it just calls that object, and maybe it needs to be a scriptable object. Maybe that'll be a better approach. And it just calls that function, and then that object then calls the behavior that's attached to. So it goes next step or next state, and it starts that state, and that state will start the behavior that's attached. That's all it really needs to be. So in Unity, you would have like this object here. I think I have to create a container for this or something. And so this would be like a state, and then it would show like the current state that's active. This state would be, and then like the order would matter, right? But if you need to go to state 3 in the response to another action, yeah, there's like, those are all the options available to, right? So you can like go to a specific state, right? So that's always available, right? You can even go to like a previous state. You can tell the state, because it's all ran through the state controller, right? So at any time, we can just tell it to go to a specific state, and this is where like getting multiple attack patterns happens, right? This is where like the attack boxes come in. So when we trigger an attack box, it will go to that attack state and trigger that attack behavior, right? So those are external trigger conditions, such as like ground detection or water surface detection, or even the death state, like when these are all external triggers that call the go to function, right? So It's there, but if there are no external triggers, there's no need for that. Then it would just cycle through. It'd go next, 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 and then loop. So it wouldn't go to the attack state until the attack box is activated. Right. So you could have two different attack states, right? Um, you could have one that's triggered by the ray vision, and then one that's triggered by the attack box. So that could be an example we use in the future, where it has the ray vision, and that triggers a state change when the do I have it here? Oh, I removed it because the boss doesn't use the vision anymore. But these guys use it. The enemies use it, right? So these would have those triggers, and where's that? Down here. So when it detects it, then it goes to attack. But then, say if they're also using the attack boxes, that would trigger like a different attack state, and it would go to that state. How would you deal with the case where the attack box is not required until halfway through the attack behavior? So like say, do you mean like the enemy's currently attacking, like is in an attack state, and then like the player goes into an attack box? Like what to do then? Because yeah, we can say like in the ray vision we go into a chase state, right? And so like now the player just chases the player around, and then when it gets close enough, then it actually attacks, right? Then you would have a chase state, and it's chasing the player, and then gets close, and then it goes to attack, but then the player is in a attack box. That would get triggered, right? So yeah, there could be like some scenarios where what takes priority, right? And because then it's like, okay, well, it's in this chase state, and now it's close enough to attack, but then it gets interrupted by the attack box action. Then whatever I guess comes second, right? I think that's things we have to think about, and that comes down to like gameplay. Like, do we want that to be a possible scenario, or how do we deal with priority? If it's already attacking the player, does it have to wait to do that, right? Yeah, but then, but that's not really the question, right? Is because you're saying that you ended up using attack animation event triggers, but what's the difference, right? Like, how do you prioritize whether it should continue the chase and attack the player, or if it should go into or trigger the attack, the trigger box, right? The attack box event, right? Or do you put in a wait and say, well, you're already attacking, so now you have to wait for this trigger, you know? Like, do you have pending states, right? Because I don't see how like the animation solves that. Yeah, but my point's like there's two different conditions for that attack. Because what if the attack box has a different animation, right? So which one do you choose? Oh, to enable the hitbox? Yeah. An ad's gonna come up in like 20 seconds. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Okay, I'm back from ads. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if the ad started when I was talking, but yeah, my question was if you have the two different attacks, have two different animations, um, you know, how do you determine which one to take like takes priority, right? You could be already in an attack state, playing an attack animation, and then trigger the a different attack, right? Um, you stop that one or you wait and such. I think you end up having a wait, right? No matter what. Right now, like this state machine, just there's no waits, right? That'll be something that has to get added. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you just like interrupt it? Which it sounds like what you're saying. Like, and then I don't see like what's the difference. Mm, Let's see. I just need the behavior. What needs to be exposed here? Just the behavior and then the number of loops, right? And then for the behavior, oh, not that one. The navigation. Okay, it's just like this stuff that needs to be exposed. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. But I was trying to like look up ways to do it. Cause I haven't tried to expose like these interfaces, and I'm not sure if that's like the right approach to do it too. Like, do I need to expose the interface? It's from the state controller. Because really, what it comes down to is where's the enemy? I think I'm trying to do the enemy first. You have the state controller, and then you would just drag and drop a state, and then that state you would add a behavior to. So it doesn't need to be an object, and because the only other things to expose would be the what do you need to expose them? The just to drag a state object in here, right? And then you would drag a behavior into that state, and then you would like customize those values there. I mean, maybe that's what I was thinking. Like maybe it just needs to be a scriptable object, but yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because the behavior, which one is this? This is the fish navigation. But I mean, this one could be a class too, right? Um, but the other thing too is that so like this class is right. This push pull state. I still have to expose the state, right? Because that's how it accepts that array, right? Or it just has to be like an acceptable like interface, right? But when I type that here, all it just says is an element. Because yeah, I would just be like, okay, let's drag this class in. Right. Yeah, I'm just trying to see the class though, right? Well, the class, well, okay, so the right, you're saying like you can't see like you'll never be able to see the interface, right? Right. Okay. Just grab all the components and the children that inherit from I states. Yeah, I think that's how the movement works, right? Or no, that's how the audio works to the audio system. Right. Well, I was just trying to think of like another other ways to do this so that because what ends up happening, right? I think so on the enemy you then yeah, you create a state controller object, right? And then you drag all your states in there that have the scripts, right? And then fetch them that way. But right. Yeah, yeah, there's no like real reason to see them in the inspector, but no matter what, you end up like having them here, right? They end up being objects, like empty objects that are like control that hold your states. So I was just trying to like think of a different way to do it, but I mean maybe this is like the best way to do it, right? You just create these objects, drop in those classes, because I think this one, let me see, like this is just like this one doesn't implement the state or the behaviors yet, but that would be, let's see, so if I grab this guy and say let's go create that new controller, the new state controller, add those states. Yeah, and I'm not too familiar with like the editor stuff, like what's like how to do expose stuff in the editor, so just trying to think about this stuff. Because yeah, I mean, ideally the states they don't really do much, right? They're just meant to be like a container. It's really the everything comes from the behaviors themselves. So yeah, the only thing the states exposed is like what behaviors are attached to them, and then the if they if they should loop or not. Yeah, because thinking about it as like an object sense, like a game object, then you could have your states. Let's just talk about this one. Um, say patrol. Then you get and the state controller would just grab all this stuff, right? So say patrol state, right? And then that one just grabs the associated behavior, and then you say like, okay, well, we got our fish navigation, right? So forth. Instead of referencing the state as an array, reference the class name of the scriptable object. State data is okay. Then if you make each state and a scriptable object that inherits from state data, you can drag in. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and I mean they're all basically all the states are pretty much doing the same thing. So there really should be no difference between like what a state is other than there's really no difference, I think. It's really just like what the behaviors do. But yeah, now we're saying that changing the states to scriptable objects, which we can do. But yeah, going back to this, you get your state with your scriptable object. That takes in your behavior, I guess, which could also be like its scriptable object. Right. Because then, yeah, if you just keep creating these empty objects, let's say death, you would say attack, right? And they would all just have that scriptable object, right? The state machine. Yeah, I was thinking you just like copied it over from your game, but like, when I reviewed it, right, there was like then it changed. So like, I haven't seen like the updates. I don't think you ever pushed the updates to the newest one, right? Right. Yeah, yeah. I think with the state machine you had. Yeah, because we were talking about like the differences between like what you were doing and uh, what we're talking about, right? And so if we're just talking about like how we expose those interfaces, right? I think it's still here. I mean, I can bring up the scene, right? Let's see. Where is it? This one, right? We can save. You're talking about this one, right? It got deleted. It didn't get deleted. It was just um, like I mean, I could show the history. It didn't get deleted. It's you ended up changing everything, so we didn't keep it. You said like you don't. You said like, oh, I've made all those changes, and then you never pushed those changes because I was reviewing it, and then you were saying, I had brought up some things, and you said like, okay, I've made all those changes, but we never got to see those updates. Oh, and ads coming in. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, we're back. Um, yeah, I think yeah, the migration was fairly new. We had to do that because the org was set up wrong. And then that's just because of plastic. Old plastic versus like new Unity version control. Um, but yeah, it's been a while since I looked at this one too. But I think both states machines have been set up a little bit differently. Like the old one you had and then this new one. So, um, but yeah, like this looks to be like all classes, right? Oh, the patrol state and everything seems to be inherent from like states from this state, right? Like you're talking about, right? Yeah. Yeah, let me see if we could do like the I mean, I don't have a problem with like doing like all the objects here like this. It's not really a concern. I didn't have any issues with like the state controller. Right. Oh yeah, see, yeah, you have it here. That's what you were just talking about. Yeah, nothing wrong with like trying to think about other methods to how to do this. So it comes down to like how we want it to look like in the inspector, I guess. Because the enemies, they got their ray vision, and then you get your state machine, state controller, and you would have like, you know, it would just gather all your states, right? It looks like you have the initial state here, which you just assign like that game object, right? Mm, right. Yeah. So did you do it? Did you make it an abstract class because you couldn't expose the interface? Right. Yeah. Could I just do state? Uh, like you can't make a state in the inspector. Yeah, I think it'll just be, I don't know. Like if we have all the states here, state machine. Um, I think the one thing I'm not seeing, right? Maybe it's not in this example, is the having all those states listed, right? And if you do want like an order of like, hey, you're gonna do attack phase 1, attack phase 2, attack phase 3, how's that all work, right? And I think you did have an example, but maybe it was in the old one and not here. Because again, like, it comes down to like the flexibility of, for like Dennis to say, I want this to happen, then this to happen, this to happen, right? And like, what happens when this is complete? What happens when this patrol state is done? It just loops, right? Or like, what state is it currently in? Things like that. And what I was thinking was that, yeah, maybe it's just like nicer to see it all together. You get like your state controller and you say, okay, like, these are all the available states that this object has. Death state, patrol, chase, and then what are all those behaviors that it can do, right? Right, but how do you determine that order, right? Like, say if I want a specific sequence to happen in a specific order, right? Right. You kind Yeah, you do. You have to like set the hierarchy here, right? In the state machine. But then what do you do about, like, if you want attack 1, attack 2, attack 3 to happen sequentially, right? And that goes, I think, into your idea of like having like nested state controllers, right? So you would have like an attack state that has a nested state controller. But how would you control that in the behavior data object? Like, say if I have 3 separate like behaviors, right? We can talk about the crane, for example, the stomp, the beak strike, and the wing, um, like swipe, whatever. The You want them to happen sequentially, but you want to change the order, right? Maybe different phases happen for the enemy, where at the first phase it only uses the wing, or maybe it only uses the stomp, right? And that's all it does. And then phase 2, it switches to a stomp and a beak strike. But then and then phase 3, it uses all 3, right? I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters whether it's a boss or an enemy, right? The idea is just like it should be flexible enough to for an enemy or a boss. Like the setup should be the same, right? And so I don't know if this one or if you have like other code that shows that example too of like, hey, this is what happens on complete. Because the state controller should be doing all that, right? Right. Okay. Yeah. And that would be, yeah, like you said, like in the behavior. So like this navigate to destination. That would contain other behaviors to go to, right? And what I'm saying is, like, how do we make that drag and drop functionality, right? Because say like for this patrol state, right? It patrols one way, and then I say, well, I want it to actually navigate in in one fashion, and then every so often it changes its movement function, right? It navigates a different way, and then navigates a different way um, when it goes, and then like having different, yeah, I guess you could say like that's a different state, right? It says, well, it goes into a chase state, or it goes into like an erratic state. Right. And then when you're talking about like those behaviors being consecutive, is that just like one script you're talking about having multiple behaviors, or are you talking about drag and drop functionality? Like you have one behavior and you just drag and drop each behavior into that function, right? Because that's what I'm talking about is like ease of use for us to just drag and drop behaviors, right? Uh, shoot. I don't know. What did I say? Oh, I mean, I was just mainly focusing on like what does the attack be? Not the attack behavior. Like, is the behavior ends up being just one script, or how do you drag and drop that functionality? Because that's like my main point with this is how do you drag and drop those behaviors into those states, right? You have to make more and more objects, and how do you get that consecutive nature happening, right? The scriptable object can have more scriptable objects dragged in. Yeah. Um, yeah, but I don't think that's how yours is set up. This, um, right? Maybe that's like future functionality. Are we talking about? Is that where it was planning on going? Because from what I've seen, oh yeah, okay. So yeah, well, I can only like review like what I've seen. If that's when I talk about this stuff, it's like it just needs to be a discussion. Well, I mean, we were just talking about it, right? Discussing like what's it need to do, and I mean, it just sounds like you didn't like my approach with things. So yeah, I mean, when it comes around like with the design discussions, we weren't even talking about implementation, which is like what I'm going on about now with like dragging and dropping functionality. Like how does that actually work? Can we use interfaces? No, we can't. And do those need to be scriptable objects? You know, things I'm running into now. Um, with the design, I don't know. Like that's how I took it. I mean, maybe that's not what you meant. I mean, with the when we were talking about like the whiteboards, and when I'm talking about like the states and the separation between like how they communicate, right? Like there were some like key differences we were talking about, and uh, like what the state should do, what the state controller should do, what behaviors should do. Because yeah, I think we're aligned for the most part, but there was just like some key differences. And so like if like the state controller, like this needs to be like, if the state needs to be a scriptable object to kind of get what I need, then that's fine, right? Like that's not a problem. Um, because a state just needs to be some kind of container to show like what happens, and the behaviors are can those also be scriptable objects? Okay, yeah. An ad's about to pop up too in like 20 seconds. Okay, we'll come back. This seems interesting for how to like expose to like those interfaces. Yeah. Yeah, I think that it really is. Like, sadly, like that, using just like classes is probably the best way to expose it. I mean, it's not really a problem, you know. But yeah, it does mean like I have to convert those, both like the state interface and the behavior interface, to classes. Right. Which isn't like a terrible thing. Because then, you know, what we're talking about like inheriting those interfaces, like what, you know, what was the point of building these interfaces if I can't even see them in in the editor? Because that's like that was the whole purpose. Uh, Again, it goes down to like the like what we want in from the dev perspective, which is just seeing that controller, um, exposing actions that then go to behaviors and so forth, right? So if I've got to use serialized classes, that's fine. That's fine. And I just think. Actually, what I'll do is I'm gonna call it state. I call it like I guess so. That's fine. Oh, I call it a class. I'm gonna call it a controller. Right? Try to think the only difference is like yeah, that's enabled. So on start, stop, continue, complete, and then if I can spell maybe. State already defined somewhere. Oh, then I'll update that. Keep the interface and make the state class inherited. Well, I don't think you can. Well, we can't. The problem is like we can't expose the interface, right? Where'd that go? Well, that's what I tried to do, and it wasn't coming up either. And I wasn't sure if like it's because I kept the interface. That's what I did here. Where'd that go? In the patrol state. So like I had this patrol state, and I inherited the class. But I guess the state controller was still trying to get um, the interface here, and that's the problem, right? You're saying I can say like interface, say I state, but then and then you're just looking for the actual state here, right? Because I still want the behavior class here. Right, so if I go back, see, what did I have? I mean, that's what you're saying, right? Like this is the class, right? And, but then I would need another class for the behavior, right? And again, still talking about like having um, that root behavior here. All just to get this stuff exposed. This one's got to change to another class. I guess I'll just keep this over here. Well, this has to be the new class, right? Being the same thing here. Maybe this is why you inherited everything from states, right? Lead handler? No. Just be. It's a Unity event. Thanks for the follow, Polo Hat. Alright, so then I can make these serializable. Where'd that go? This one. This needs to be the. Oh, him. And now. Now I gotta create a list. Bunch like. What am I working on? Yo, I'm working on a 2D adventure game uh, with TG, this guy, and Blind Cat Studios. Um, been working on it for like 2, 3 years now, and I'll show. I wasn't sure if you were part of the raid that came in earlier today, so um, sorry for not talking about it. And I'll show. I'll show the game. Feel free to wishlist the game. Show the quick demo. Where to go? Hopefully the sound's working this time. I think it was really quiet last time. Is it really low? Okay. So that demo's a little bit older. It's like a, but yeah. So it's a 2D adventure game. You play as Kata, this koi fish, as your pawn gets infected by some toxin pollution, it enters your water, like your pond, and it causes like all the surrounding wildlife, all the animals around you, to go rampant, and they just start rampaging, attacking other animals, and like destroying your home. So you venture out and travel upstream up the river to find like the source of pollution, to save your home. You'll battle different enemies, monsters, not monsters, animals that all have been infected by this toxin, driving them mad. And so we have this small like scene done. It's a very art heavy game, and we only have one artist, and she's been really busy a lot lately this whole past year, really. So there's a lot more levels that we're trying to get to, but art's Arts is chugging along, so uh, hopefully we should be able to get a demo out of at least this scene. We have like more work, more levels that are like concepted out, but they won't be getting any art anytime soon. But please go ahead and wishlist that game, and so you can see the updates when we do come out with the demo. Um, there's going to be like, yeah, different kinds of enemies. We have shinobi frogs, samurai crabs. There is, you know, a lot of inspiration came from Ori, the Blind Forest, and Echo the Dolphin. So definitely check it out. I think it's a really cool game. We've been slowly going at it for a while now. We're all like, you know, busy, and we're just working on this like as a on the side. And we've lost. We used to like the team used to be much bigger, but we lost a lot of people over the years, and had like redid all the artwork um, a while back. So, but it is a really art heavy game. You can see like the art looks really good. So, trying to we're still like trying to find more artists to help out. Complaining. Um, it's because I don't have lists in here. But an ad's gonna start in just a minute. I hear you, Nita. Appreciate it though. Appreciate it. Oh wait, no, I want the interface. State. But yeah, I gotta jump off soon, so I'm gonna try to find someone to raid. Yeah, art takes a lot of skill, for sure. Mm. State. So I think so. I know it's been a long time. This is the actual like I think this is my longest stream that I've had. I've been streaming for again like for the past like 2-3 weeks, and this is definitely like my longest stream. I've had like a lot of interruptions, which is fine. Like you know, I've got a lot of stuff going on, and like you guys saw my schedule at the beginning. Like I'm going through some employment stuff and trying to figure going through these other like I don't know webinars or whatever these events trying to get started. So and again like yeah come like later this month or next month I'll probably start taking interviews, so I'm not always going to be able to stream like several hours a day. I'll cut in and out, but I appreciate everyone hanging out. um, Big shout out to Irregular Humans for raiding the channel. Like everyone's stuck around, so I really appreciate it. So if you guys have someone to raid, let me know. Let's see if there's who is here to raid. I'm trying to think what's the best way. Like, do I need a list? I just need current state to be populated. I may not even need a list. Because everything, I use state everywhere. So this one just needs to be I state. Oh, I guess I do. I do, because I should be using the states list. But then this go-to state has to be this object. Cool, let's go raid somebody. I think I've been raiding Irish John games for a while. Otter Makes Games is on. Setolix is on. You can raid any of those people. Might raid Otter Mix Games. I haven't raided him in a while. So let's go check him out. All right, everybody show love over there, and I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out, and check out my YouTube channel, like and subscribe, and wishlist the game. Cool. All right, Nita, TG, everyone, thanks for hanging out. Playing Cat for hanging out, and I'll catch y'all next time. Just waiting for this thing to pop up. Let's see. I don't know why. Is it gonna let me raid or not? Let's see. What the heck? Okay. Let me know. Like, I don't know what happened. Let me see. Did I raid him? I don't know what happened. I don't think it's... It wasn't saying I could start the raid. Start raid. There we go. Okay, cool. I should be raiding now. Go say hi.